My sister stood up at our grandmother's funeral reception, tapped a wine glass, and announced she had found a new will. Wow, one that left her everything: the house, the savings, even Grandma's wedding ring. And I just sat there and let her have her moment, because I knew something she didn't. Grandma had been planning for this exact day for 3 years. But let me start from the beginning. My name's Claire. At least that's what I'll go by here. I'm 34, and my grandmother, Ruth, basically raised me. My parents divorced when I was 7, and while they were busy fighting over furniture, I was at Grandma's kitchen table doing homework, learning to make her famous lemon bars, listening to stories about how she and Grandpa built their hardware store from nothing. My older sister, Dana, was different. Dana showed up for birthdays and Christmas, when there were gifts involved. The rest of the year, Grandma was, in Dana's words, a lot. Too chatty, too old-fashioned, too far across town. That changed the day Grandma got her diagnosis: congestive heart failure. The doctors gave her 2, maybe 3 years. And suddenly, Dana discovered the joys of family. Within a month, Dana had moved into Grandma's spare bedroom. "Someone needs to be there full time," she told everyone. "It's the least I can do." On paper, it looked noble. Dana quit her part-time job, became the live-in caretaker, drove Grandma to appointments. Relatives praised her. Dana's such an angel. But here's the thing about angels: they don't usually change the locks. I found out when I drove over one Saturday with groceries, like I'd done for years, and my key didn't work. Dana answered the door, all smiles. "Oh, we had a break-in scare, new locks. I'll get you a copy made." She never did. Then the visits got harder. Grandma was napping. Grandma was having a bad day. Grandma didn't want visitors confusing her. When I did get inside, Dana hovered in the doorway like a prison guard with a coffee mug. Then small things started disappearing. Grandma's silver tea set, Grandpa's coin collection. When I asked, Dana shrugged. Grandma's downsizing. She wants things to go to people who will appreciate them. Funny how all of those people turned out to be Dana. I called Grandma directly, but Dana had upgraded her to a new phone. One Grandma couldn't figure out, and which Dana managed. Every call went through my sister first. I want to be honest with you, I didn't fight hard enough at first. I told myself I was imagining it, that nobody weaponizes caretaking against their own grandmother. I will regret that hesitation for the rest of my life. What broke the spell was a phone call from Mrs. Okafor, Grandma's neighbor of 40 years. She told me Grandma had flagged her down at the mailbox, one of the rare moments Dana wasn't shadowing her, and pressed a note into her hand. 5 words in Grandma's shaky handwriting. "Tell Claire, check the bank." So I checked. I was still listed as a contact on one of Grandma's old accounts from when I'd helped her set up online banking years before. What I saw made my stomach drop. Transfers. Thousands at a time, month after month, to an account I didn't recognize. Household expenses, the memo said. $80,000 of household expenses in under 2 years. I confronted Dana. She didn't even blink. "I have power of attorney, Claire. Everything I do is legal. And honestly, you should be careful about throwing around accusations. Grandma's been telling me she wants to update her will. You wouldn't want to upset her right now, would you?" That was the moment I understood. This wasn't neglect or greed in the moment. This was a plan. And the will was the end game. Here's what Dana never knew. 2 weeks after that confrontation, I got a call from a man named Mr. Abernathy, Grandma's estate lawyer for over 30 years. Grandma had reached him from her cardiologist's waiting room, the one place Dana couldn't follow her past the front desk. His message was short. Your grandmother would like you to attend her next appointment. Come alone. So began the strangest 3 months of my life. While Dana believed Grandma was getting her heart checked, Grandma was sometimes meeting both of us in a conference room down the hall from the cardiology wing. And let me tell you something. Grandma's body was failing, but her mind was a steel trap. She knew everything. The transfers, the missing coins, the locks. She'd been documenting it in a little notebook she kept sewn. I'm not kidding. Sewn into the lining of her knitting bag. Dates, amounts, things Dana said when she thought Grandma was asleep. Why don't we just confront her now? I asked. Grandma shook her head slowly. If we confront her, she cries, she apologizes, and she finds a new way. No, sweetheart. We let her finish building her own trap. So here's what Grandma did, with Mr. Abernathy's help. First, she re-executed her real will, properly witnessed, notarized, and recorded a video statement to go with it, where she calmly explained her wishes and, crucially, demonstrated she was of completely sound mind. Second, she revoked Dana's power of attorney and quietly granted it to Mr. Abernathy's office. Dana never knew because Dana never imagined Grandma could do anything without her. Third, the original will, the video, and the notebook went into a safe deposit box. 2 keys. Grandma kept one. I kept the other. And then Grandma did the hardest part. She went home and played the sweet, fading old lady for 8 more months. She let Dana believe she was winning. She even, and this still makes me laugh through tears, let Dana help her sign some papers one afternoon. Papers Dana had printed herself. Grandma passed away on a Tuesday morning in spring, holding my hand with Mrs. Okafor's tulips on the windowsill. Her last words to me were, "Watch her face, sweetheart, watch her face for me." Which brings us back to the funeral reception, and Dana tapping her wine glass. She announced, with practiced tears, that in Grandma's final months, they had grown so close that Grandma had made a new will. Dana would inherit the house, the accounts, everything, to continue caring for Grandma's legacy. She'd even brought copies. She passed them around like party favors. I said nothing. I'd promised Grandma I'd say nothing, because the next morning, at the official reading at Mr. Abernathy's office, Dana walked in carrying her version of the will like a trophy. Mr. Abernathy let her place it on the table. He adjusted his glasses, looked at it for a long moment, and said, "Interesting. Now, before we discuss that document, your grandmother asked that I play something for you." He turned his monitor around, and there was Grandma, alive, sharp-eyed, sitting in this very conference room, dated and time-stamped. "Hello, Dana," she said. "If you're watching this, you've just presented a will I never wrote." I watched my sister's face go from confusion to recognition to gray. Grandma's video calmly laid it all out. The real will, the revoked power of attorney, the notebook, the bank records. Mr. Abernathy's office had been quietly preserving for 2 years. And then, the detail that ended everything. The new will Dana presented was dated March 14th. Grandma, in the video, holds up her hospital admission bracelet. On March 14th, she'd been admitted overnight for fluid in her lungs. She was in a hospital bed, 15 miles from where Dana claimed she'd signed. "You always were sloppy with dates, dear," Grandma said. "You missed 3 of my birthdays. I never missed a thing. The real will left the house and savings to me, with one condition: a trust paying Mrs. Okafor's property taxes for life for being a true neighbor." Dana received exactly one item, Grandma's notebook, the original, so she could read, in Grandma's handwriting, every single thing she thought she'd gotten away with. And the final twist? Presenting a forged will isn't just tacky, it's fraud. Mr. Abernathy was legally obliged to refer the matter on. Dana avoided prison by agreeing to repay every cent of those household expenses with the family home she'd been bragging about putting a deposit on as collateral. Last I heard, she's back at a part-time job, paying down a debt to a dead woman who outsmarted her from a cardiologist's waiting room. I make Grandma's lemon bars every Sunday now in her kitchen in my house. And I did watch Dana's face that day, just like Grandma asked. I watched the exact moment she realized that the fading old lady had been 3 moves ahead the entire time. So tell me, what would you have done? Would you have stayed silent like Claire and let the trap close, or confronted Dana the moment the locks changed? Tell me in the comments below. And subscribe, because next time on the Karma Archive, a man's best friend hired him as a contractor, then refused to pay. He had no idea his buddy had built a clause into the contract that would cost him the entire house.